When looking into any trip with Princess Cruises, you're faced with a number of choices along the way. Different fares and room upgrades, multiple dining experiences and excursions, all of which will affect your total spend and enjoyment to varying levels. So with this video, I wanted to give a clear understanding of what those options actually look and feel like, allowing you to make better informed decisions when booking to any budget. I'll also go through an overlooked hidden cruise benefit that may even change which cruise you're interested in the first place. All these experiences are based on the 7-day Alaskan cruise video I just shared on board the Discovery Princess, but this guide will work for any Princess cruise. And since that trip was sponsored by Princess, I was fortunate enough to sample lots of different extras. So I came away with a pretty solid understanding of what's on offer to provide you with a useful insight. So here goes. Let's start with the different cruise packages and what's included as standard for everyone. The starting fare for a cruise is one of its selling points. Prices around the world can obviously vary depending on your home residence, where you're travelling to, and for how many days. So as just one example, this is for a similar 7-day Alaska cruise trip to the one that I went on. The standard fare includes all your food at multiple dining locations, cafes for a quick bite, the pizzeria for a quick pizza, a large and daily ever-changing menu at the buffet, and the multi-course dining rooms. Plus you get all the onboard entertainment, which I'll cover a little later, the medallion class experience, which allows you to order food and drink anywhere on board, along with finding your friends and booking activities through. You'll also get included 24-hour room service and the use of the fitness facilities to counteract the guilt of eating all those cupcakes. So this is obviously the best choice for those watching their spend, and you can purchase extras as and when you need them. The other fares are Princess Plus and Princess Premier. For the full list of included extras, feel free to pause the screen now, but I wanted to highlight 3 different aspects of Princess Plus that I personally got the most value from on this list. First, the cocktails. They were always really good, and surprisingly they got better as the day wore on. But especially as we were in a group, it was really nice enjoying a couple of cocktails after lunch in the various bars around the ship. Second, for the Wi-Fi in Princess Plus, you have one device you can connect per person. One thing I wanted to add here is that after speaking to 3 different people on board, they all said that the Wi-Fi on Princess was the best they'd used at sea, compared to other cruise ships, so you should be getting a good service with this, as I did. And thirdly, there's the included gratuity. Now, as a Brit, the slippery surface of American tipping rules throughout the day literally fills me with dread and anxiety, so to have it already included for the crew was one less thing to think about. And then everything else on this list was just a nice bonus on top. So for Princess Premier, and again pause the screen now for the full list, I wanted to highlight here the 2 specialty dining meals and unlimited fitness classes. The gym is available for everyone, and you do get 2 classes with the Princess Plus fare, which was personally enough for me, but there's a bunch of different classes running every day, so if fitness is really important to you, this offers some extra variety and value. For the specialty dining, my personal favourite restaurant was Sabatini's, an Italian restaurant, which I'll come back to a bit later. But aside from the food being extra enjoyable, it was just great having 2 evening meals that stood out as special occasions. As currencies will be different all over the world, I'll link your local prices at the top right of the screen now and in the description box just below the video's title. The food was ultimately one of my favourite parts of this trip, so I wanted to elaborate a bit more on what you can expect on board. For breakfast, most of the time I ate at the World Fresh Marketplace, a top-deck buffet serving pretty much everything you could want. The selection always had something different that fit the taste that I was after, but I personally juggled mostly between pastries and a cooked breakfast. For lunch, I'd mix things up a little bit more, either going to the Fresh Marketplace again, or Gigi's for a made-to-order pizza, or even the International Cafe, which was for a smaller snack and coffee shop vibe. If you're at any all-inclusive hotel, the danger is that things can get stale if you're always eating at the same place all the time. The 5 different restaurants and cafes that I would visit was enough to minimise this, and the healthy mixture of a la carte dining and buffets also did too. Another way Princess helps to mix this up a little bit further is with a totally optional dress code for a couple of the evenings. So for example, one night the dress code was formal, which meant I looked like this. And then there was white and gold night, meaning I looked like this, which is either way too much of this guy or too much of this guy, and I'm not sure which is better. As mentioned, this is all totally optional, but it did help make the evenings feel unique. Also, as a quick by the by, the staff generally were excellent throughout this cruise. What especially impressed me was their ability to remember you, even 2 days later, recalling conversations you'd have and then following up on them. It happened on numerous occasions and left me feeling really cared for and noticed as a customer. For the rooms, there are a lot of different choices. I was staying in a mini suite, which gives you about twice the amount of space compared to some of the other rooms. Now, this extra space was obviously great to have, but in the end it was the balcony that was the most important room feature over anything else. Having instant access to fresh air, the sounds of the sea, a coffee in your own private space, watching a sunrise moments after getting out of bed, these were all highlights. But I think what matters most when choosing a room is the price difference for that balcony upgrade, as I found this can vary quite a lot based on the trip that you're looking at. So I think it's worth playing around with different cruise ships, dates and routes to see what works best for your budget. After the mini suite, there's the suites themselves, which I did get a chance to see also. Again, please pause the screen for the nice full long list of room upgrades, but if I was staying here, the benefits that would mean the most for me would actually come from outside of these four walls. And that's because when you book a suite, they come with all these extra service and dining options outside of the benefits of the room upgrade itself. For example, suite guests get access to breakfast at the aforementioned Sabatini's, again my favourite restaurant for that specialty dinner, but easily my favourite choice for the mornings. It was easily the most peaceful and spacious, and the best way to start the day. Suite guests also have an included evening at the 360 dining restaurant that I showed in the main travel vlog, which as mentioned there, was in a league of its own. So I guess my point is, it's more than just a bigger room that you're getting when comparing. So have a think how those benefits might work within your own budget. Something I hadn't expected at all was the massive list of daily activities going on around the ship each day, which I'd undervalued the benefits of at the start. As part of my eventual morning routine, I'd end up scrolling through the day and favouriting what took my interest in the Princess app. The main events for the evening always happened in the Princess Theatre, consisting of a magic show, an impressive piano performance, and 2 different hour-long musicals. During the day, in terms of at least the stuff that interested myself, there were magic classes, Mario Kart tournaments, presentations, mini concerts, acupuncture classes, Beatles trivia quizzes, fine wine tastings, and a genuinely nail-biting Deal or No Deal.
Let's open case 9!
One massive benefit of a cruise that I hadn't previously thought of is where you're starting or finishing, as opposed to just where you're going, such as Alaska in this case. Our departure was from Vancouver, and I spent 3 nights here before setting sail. So as you're already paying for the flight to get to the cruise anyway, it kind of became a bonus holiday, and with a relatively low cost per day, since the flight was already covered, if that makes sense. I do have quite a bit of footage from Vancouver, so I may end up making a standalone video, but if not, all I can say is I loved it. And if you were looking at an Alaskan cruise specifically, getting one that includes Vancouver will add a massive bump to your overall holiday with this added chapter. We ended our time in Seattle, which was great because I probably wouldn't have ever visited, and now I'm really glad that I did. The Space Needle was the best lookout tower I've been on, really open but still protected from the wind, and with a city that is extra interesting from above. The Chihuly Gardens was really unique and enjoyable also, taking glass blowing to a whole nother level, and the area around the world's oldest Starbucks was a fun few hours, although there is no way that I'm waiting in that line, no matter if it is the blueprint for modern day coffee shops. So if you are looking at a cruise anywhere in the world, do take into account the starting or finishing point, as that could add a whole new dimension to your overall trip. Some quick things I wanted to share in regards to booking excursions with your cruise. 2 of the ports we stopped at were right by the town itself, so you could easily walk to the main attractions. For the one that wasn't, in Sitka, they provided buses every 10 minutes to and from the town, and they worked really well. If you hadn't already booked an excursion through Princess, there were usually vendors on shore, offering the most popular trips. Booking this way through a vendor will always be a little cheaper compared to going through your cruise ship. The main benefit you get by going direct through Princess though, is that the ship will always wait for you, even if an excursion is delayed, so that is something to keep in mind. Lastly, I wanted to quickly touch on seasickness. Now, personally, I don't get seasick myself, but I spoke to 2 different first-time cruisers whilst on board who said they were taking motion sickness pills and hadn't had any problems at all. Large cruise ships are stabilised by their size to some extent, but still there was one day that I remember where we had the roughest waters on the trip and I did feel the movement. So I think that if it is something you really suffer from a lot, it possibly isn't worth the risk. But if you only have a mild seasick history, I certainly wouldn't rule out a cruise entirely if you're interested by the idea of one. Tips for minimizing this issue are obviously motion sickness medication, but also booking a route with more days docked and on shore, with less full days at sea that will help reduce the overall impact. If you haven't seen the full 7 days in Alaska vlog, I'll link it here as it gives you more of an idea of what a cruise feels like, especially as a first timer. And I've linked a bunch of helpful related links to everything discussed in the description below the title, along with your specific regional information. So until the next video, thanks for watching, Suitcase Monkey.